So in downward facing dog, there are so many pieces coming together. Even though it looks like a simple posture on the outside, a lot is being integrated. So we're going to look at one piece at a time. First, the arms. Are the arms internally or externally rotating? We need the palms to be facing down to connect down into the floor. So they're internally rotating. And we need the lower part of the arm and the upper part of the arm to be rotating in the same direction so that we're not causing any tension or pain or different directions happening in the elbow joint, because it's a hinge joint and not a joint that likes to rotate. So in short, the upper arm and the lower arm need to rotate in the same direction, and that's internally so that the palms can be facing down. If we were externally rotating, the palms would be facing up and we wouldn't be able to connect into the ground. And so that feeling of external rotation that we get in downward facing dog is coming from the shoulder blades. So we want the shoulder blades to wrap around towards the front of the body. So we're engaging through these muscles here to wrap the shoulder blades and bring them around towards the front of the body. So we get this feeling of widening the upper back and moving the shoulder blades away from each other. That's what's giving us that sensation of external rotation through the shoulders. It's really that wrapping of the shoulder blades. And then the arms are internally rotating, and we're rooting down into the base of the pointer finger as an extension of that internal rotation. We're spreading the fingers and waking up the hands. And we want the pointer fingers to be pointing forward. If you need to, you can angle the hands out a little bit more, or you can widen the hands a little bit more than shoulder width apart if you have really tight shoulders and you need to give the shoulders a little bit more space. So we got the hands, we got the arms, we got the shoulder blades, and then one more piece there. Try micro bending the elbows if you're hyper flexible so that you don't dump into the elbow joints. Micro bend the elbows so you can really root through the hands, through the base of the pointer finger and the base of the thumb, and wrap the shoulder blades. And when you wrap the shoulder blades, one more point, it sort of feels like you're lifting the armpits away from the floor and you're not collapsing down. Because when you collapse down, then unless you have super flexible shoulders, the shoulders are gonna come up towards the ears and crunch the neck. And you'll start to use the muscles around the neck to keep the shoulders in this position and create tension around there, rather than using the muscles down here to wrap the shoulder blades and give the neck a lot of space so that you can gently gaze up either along the thighs or towards the navel to find a drishti point, a soft gaze. That helps to lengthen the back of the neck and create space. And now from here, you're pressing into the hands, you're wrapping the shoulder blades, and then you're reaching the hips up and back. So it feels like you're creating infinite space between the hands and the hips. You're drawing the lower belly in and lifting the sit bones up and back. So it feels like they're opening and lifting without arching and letting the ribs splay out. You keep drawing the lower ribs in, but lift the sit bones at the same time. Draw the lower belly in so you get that sense of hollowing through the front of the pelvis. And the legs are strong. You're lifting the kneecaps. And again, if you're hypermobile, slightly bend the knees, micro bend the knees. And then wake up the feet, spreading the bases of the big toes, pressing through the four corners of the feet, and reaching the heels towards the floor. So even if the heels are a little bit lifted, they're still reaching in that direction. And now if you feel like the weight is coming forward into the hands too much, bend the knees and reach the hips back. Press into the hands, relax the neck. And then we usually hold this for 5 breaths, but also sometimes it's just a transition point, so we just hold it for 1 breath and keep moving. But at the end of Surya Namaskar A and the end of Surya Namaskar B, we hold this for 5 breaths. And it's our moment to settle into the body. It's our moment to establish that breath, especially if we've been moving and we lost that connection of breath to movement. This is our chance to come back and establish that steady breath in and out, to reestablish our drishti, our soft gazing point, to reestablish our Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, and our attention to our internal form and our intention inwards. And these are all points that it's difficult to maintain all of those points throughout the entire practice. And that's why we're practicing is because it's hard and it doesn't come naturally to us. And so we're trying to make it more of how we naturally move through the world, coming back into this space. So downward facing dog is such a great opportunity to just come back to the body, come back to the breath, come back to our intentions, and come back to our one-pointed focus. All right.